Hunter x Hunter has an incredibly expansive universe and, as a result, has tons of characters with incredibly unique and unusual Nen abilities. And the overwhelming number of all these different characters and their powers can make it very easy to forget some of the people who are incredibly strong and efficient with Nen. And that brings me to Morel, one of the most underrated characters in Hunter x Hunter in terms of how skilled he is with Nen. I have the really bad tendency of not thinking of him when I think of the strongest human Nen users, and that is an absolutely crucial error because he is incredibly powerful, and hopefully by the end of this video, I will convince you of that fact. Really quickly, if you like me and you like my content, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, because it really helps me out a lot, and I would deeply appreciate it. If you need a little refresher on who Morel is, that's totally okay. He's the dude with the giant pipe. He likes to smoke, and that is what his Nen ability is focused on. He's also incredibly jacked, so don't forget that fact. He's very calm and confident, and he has a very stoic demeanor, but he is also very supportive and uplifting. He was a mentor for Knuckle and Shoot, two incredibly powerful Nen users. He served on the Chimera Ant Extermination Team and was a trusted companion of Isaac Netero. He's deeply committed to whatever mission he's put into, and he's willing to put himself in harm's way to ensure the safety of others. His fight against Cheetu demonstrates how he is able to remain incredibly calm despite being in unknown situations. His combinations of experience, intelligence, and raw power make him one of the most formidable hunters in the entire series. Knuckle, who Morel taught, has fought more than 5,000 battles, and according to him, he has never seen a Nen user with a greater aura supply than Morel. This was prior to him meeting Yuppie, who, is a member of the Chimera Ant Royal Guard, so that makes sense. Morel's aura pool is over 70,000 units, and keep in mind, Gon's is 21,500, which means Morel's is over 3 times that of our main character. Morel is a manipulator naturally, but he's also incredibly skilled at enhancement and transmutation. On the subject of Nen, let's talk about how skilled this dude is with it. We see him create enough smoke to cover several floors of the Chimera Ant Palace, and by doing so, he can use this smoke as a form of N. N is an application of Nen, which allows you to emit your aura out, and then if anything walks into it or messes with it, you will sense it. Nobunaga uses this when he has trapped Killua and Gon, so it just works as like a bubble that you create and you can sense when things enter or leave it. And the smoke that Morel emits will act as a form of N. And he's so proficient with the smoke that he's able to discern what person is specifically in his smoke. So if Netero walked into the smoke, Morel would be able to detect that it was him despite being several meters away. He can do all of this with just smoke. The specific ability we see him use the most is called Deep Purple. He can manipulate this smoke into walking and talking tricks. He can make them look like real people to the point where they're indiscernible from a normal human being. His favorite application of Deep Purple is to create smoke troopers, which are exactly what they sound like. They are a bunch of soldiers that are entirely made up of smoke, and they are essentially sentient. They can either act independently and do whatever it takes to complete the task at hand that Morel has assigned them, or Morel can give them direct instructions and then they will follow them out to a T. He can also form these remotely, which means if he's not in the room, he could still spawn in a bunch of smoke troopers and they just start doing whatever. He can create up to 216 of these at the absolute max. However, if he wants to maintain quality while also maximizing quantity, he can make up to 50, which means he can make 50 smoke troopers that are at the utmost quality, and then there's 50 of them. That's ridiculous. 50 soldiers that are just spawned in through smoke? And you might be thinking, well, that must require a ton of aura output, and you would technically be right, but the catch is he can dispel these smoke troopers at any point, and then all of the aura that it took to make them just goes right back to him. And then he's just got it all back. But remember, Knuckle, who has fought over 5,000 battles, says that Morel has the most aura pool out of anyone he's ever met. So he's doing okay on aura supply. Another ability he has is Smoky Jail, which is exactly what it sounds like. He can create a cylindrical wall of smoke that is completely impenetrable, and the only things that can get through it are particle-sized objects. And Smoky Jail is the real deal. Yuppie, who is one of the most physically powerful Chimera ants we've seen, was trapped inside of it. Now, this Smoky Jail could be an application of emission or transmutation, we don't fully know, but that just goes to show you how proficient Morel is with Nen. Like I've said before in past videos, the Nen users who are the best at what they do have abilities that stretch over multiple affinities of Nen, not just the one that they were born most proficient in. So someone like Netero or Bisky or Jing are all very capable in multiple affinities to the point where their ability incorporates all of these different aspects of it. And Morel's no different. Morel is so capable with multiple affinities of Nen, which just really goes to show you how talented and how much of a hard worker he is. And to me, one of the most unbelievable things about this whole thing is that even though Morel is so strong, and I've spent these past few minutes telling you about how powerful he is, he's still getting demolished by Pito, Yuppie, and Poof. Like, the Chimera ants are just on another level. They're so much more powerful than humans. But specifically among humans, Morel is undoubtedly one of the best Nen users we've ever seen on screen. His ability also just has so many applications. Morel said it himself, he has never met another Nen user who has an ability that is more flexible than his. And Morel's been around. He has probably met most of the Zodiacs, if not all of them, and obviously he's met Isaac Netero. So even after meeting all of those incredibly powerful Nen users, he still thinks that his ability is the most flexible and strategic. Which is just absolutely insane, but it makes sense that someone like Netero would trust Morel as much as he did. So hopefully I've convinced you of how powerful Morel is, because guys, do not ever sleep on this man. He is undoubtedly one of the coolest and most unique characters of Hunter x Hunter. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to let me know down below in the comments, and hit the like button, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching all the way until the end of the video, and I'll see you in the next one.